Hello, welcome to Pros. First time piloting this. We're going to see how it goes. Dhokla, Jensen, eXyu, thanks everyone for taking the time. You were already talking about the new patch.
Yeah, I mean, LCS is live, so it's like next week is already a new patch. So
yeah, we're done with this support item tomfoolery now.
Thank God, surely.
I think they're changing it. Do you know what the patch is yet?
They got rid of it. They said you can only buy one support item on a team now. So
Source?
I think it was Freak's Twitter.
I made it up.
That one guy on Twitter.
I made it up.
Yeah, probably Matt or Freak.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
Spider guy. Spider X.
Spider X, yeah, okay.
oh, he's the guy that just knows everything.
Yeah,
he's not even a rider.
Wait, he's not?
Yeah,
He's
no.
not random?
Dude, he becomes the official
everything.
source of everything.
Yeah,
He's
I
insane.
just believe him when I see it on Twitter. So
Yeah, he's never wrong. He knows so many people. He knows things that like.
what if it's you?
It's a little crazy. He
Chat
knows like
GPT.
the first and last name of like every designer. He's plugged in.
Damn.
Yeah, it's anyway. He does a service to the community, but so that's probably going to change. But I'm actually just kind of curious how week one overall went for you. We have a little bit of time. We can talk about things. How did it feel to be back in the LCS? We'll start.
Yeah, I mean, this game one was pretty like weird in the sense like the routine for me. Going through that motion was just like you're drafting backstage. Usually before that we would have like a warm up in terms of like just like practicing, and then we'd go outside to like stretch, and then you're kind of listening to music as well, like locking in. So that kind of just went out the window for me. So it was kind of all of a rush, and I had like really bad sleep the day before. So game one was
2 days
kind of
ago,
a wash.
basically.
Yeah, 2 days ago. So game one was pretty rough, and I think as a team it was just first time for getting back on stage. So we were definitely hesitant and indecisive. So looking forward to just clean that up throughout the split.
Jensen, how do you feel? The 2-0 is pretty nice. One of two undefeated teams.
Of course, that helps. I mean, at first, I was just excited to be back. But then it's like, with this whole new draft thing, it's so weird. Because then it's like, okay, draft is done. Now we sit around and it's like, I guess we can talk for 5 minutes about what we want to do level 1.
So how did that go? Because I just knew that it didn't seem to break. But what was the environment like in the back room drafting? And then what are the rules of what you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same. Like, it's just us with our coaches, and then we're like stuck in there, right?
Okay. With like one like referee.
One referee,
okay.
yeah. So we can't talk with like our managers and like assistant coaches and stuff that aren't part of like the stage. But then we just talk, like we do a draft like normal.
Yeah.
And then we just sit there for 5 minutes. We're like, okay, anything crazy you want to do, little one? We can go back and forth for like a couple of minutes.
And
5
you're
minutes.
still in the room with just the two coaches?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then after a bit, we're like, okay, sounds good. Let's turn the TV on and start watching what's happening in the current game.
Yeah.
And then like everyone comes in, and then you're like not supposed to discuss after 5 minutes, or is it free to discuss until you start?
No, you can discuss until you start, but after draft they usually move you like backstage, just right outside. But after that it's kind of just you're just waiting to get on stage pretty much.
Yeah, we were asking Licorice what he would have done, and he was like, "Well, if I'm allowed to like do a 1v1 against like an academy top laner before the match, you can
No,
you
they
do
don't let
that?
you do-
No,
they don't let you do that.
You
They
can
don't
do
let
it-
you do that.
Yeah, you can do it with your teammates though.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when like yesterday, Insanity picked Sack mid. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm laning against the Sack mid, and then we're like, yeah, he got buffed. He's pretty strong. So then me and Brip would just hopped in a 1v1 real quick, played a really laning phase, and okay, we're ready for stage.
And then you did technically get the first blood.
Yeah, but
Do you think that helped?
no, because this lane like it did not go like this in the 1v1 at all. Like the Sack just on stage, he just let me hit him, and I'm playing Gathering Storm and Phase Rush, so I don't have early game runes.
Yeah.
And he was dying, but Whipple was not dying. And then I got a kill, and then Sack is just unkillable out of nowhere. Like, what happened to this champ? This champ's like OP out of nowhere, I think. But it's interesting that you can like do 1v1s now.
eXyu, how did you feel? Because you did get some LCS with the stage drafting versus the backstage drafting, but how do you feel in the week overall?
I mean, I really like the draft behind the scenes and then come onto stage.
Make sure we're talking a bit. I'm not sure how it's picking up.
Because I think like it's nice that you can warm up on the champ that you know you're gonna play, as opposed to just like warming up and then you're like, oh, actually, I'm not playing this champ at all. And I like that you have more time to talk about level 1s and like things that you want to do as a team. I think it's like kind of unfair, but if everyone gets to do it, it's okay. So
Yeah,
cool.
it's. I have to ask you because I was reading your chat in the game yesterday, Jensen.
Okay.
What was the lag?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you were chatting like, if we lag, we lag. Because we were paused for like 5 minutes for lag.
I mean, there's like, I don't even know how to explain
it was like a server lag, so it's like
Okay.
the game's going and then it just freezes for like maybe a second. At least that's what happened in our
and then you
game.
pause and
And
you're like, I don't want
then
that
it
to
just
happen again.
transitions to everything after that, like freeze. So like what would
just
have
teleport.
happened. So yeah,
But it happened today as well.
Okay,
Even though
in
it
your
was,
game.
yeah.
Did you pause? Or everyone just
yes, we paused, even though it was supposed to be fixed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
Hopefully next week.
we'll send a note to Mark.
Yeah.
Fix that really quick. Jensen. Mm-hmm. You played Azir and Orianna.
Yeah, I don't know how they were open.
Are we going to see a departure from Azir and Orianna anytime soon, or is that?
I mean, I feel like only if they ban it, because
like why not?
yeah, why not? Why not just keep picking it if I can, right? But I mean, I was really surprised I got it today because they picked Corki early and I dropped, and then they banned, I think they banned Orianna and then they banned Jace. I feel like every normal team would ban Azir there, but maybe it was because yesterday they lost with Azir into Corki and Azir really ran it down, so maybe they thought, oh, Corki just beats Azir.
maybe Jensen might run it down. You know,
Maybe I'll do
It's happened before.
Yeah. So it was a bit surprising, but I mean, I'll just keep playing it.
Did eXyu, did you work much with Jensen last year? Because you technically were on the same org, and I'm just actually curious how well you know each other.
I mean, I think we talked a lot, but we didn't work in game at all because I didn't play for scrims at all or anything. I think most of our conversations were just like, oh yeah, like how can we help mid and like how can we get jungle to help mid? But yeah.
Yeah, we talked a good amount, but we never got to play together. It was like debated at some point, like if we should try it out, but it never became anything.
how about how mid could help jungle? Was that ever brought up?
No,
Jungle has no rights when you're on a team with Jensen.
yeah. jungle listens to me.
Yeah.
How's that been with your new top and mid?
I think for me, it's definitely like there's gonna be growing pains because they're not like really capable of speaking English very well.
Okay.
So a lot of it is just like me just asking them questions, and I don't even know if they understand me. But sometimes they respond, and like when they respond, I try to make the most of it. But
Do you have to kind of go through Toby as a translator a bit?
yeah, for reviews and everything, it's always going through Toby. And then during game, I'm just like, please understand what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I hope you understand, and I hope you guys can say what you want. Because like sometimes in review, they'll be like, oh, I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to say it.
Right.
And then it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I just start like a conversation here?
You can do whatever you want.
Because so I feel like in the past, right,
Yeah.
Koreans were like really insane, and there was you couldn't beat the Koreans, right?
Okay.
But nowadays it's like the Koreans are not that good anymore. Like kind of like the NA and EU players, like they're like individually on par, right? So I don't think it's worth importing the Koreans as much as is already happening, because it's like
I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, like
I
even
think when Dove
energy.
gaps Jensen,
Okay.
we'll come back to this conversation.
Quote him on this.
When we ban Porky Azir,
Someone clip this, and then when he gets solo kill, just
when
have this
Jensen, when
playing.
Jensen has to play anything else besides those two champs,
I mean, it is. So there is an interesting take here because I think let's go back to like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
When a lot of times or even when like Core JJ got brought to North America, that was like, okay, he won a world championship like 2 years ago. Whereas I feel like the type of imports we're getting now are more likely to be the Korean prospects. Like they're the guys from Challengers who haven't necessarily gotten their shot in the LCK yet and are doing LCS for a starting role. So the reputation coming in is already going to be lower. But you're basically just saying like the imports used to dominate and now they're not.
Yeah, and then the language barriers and everything. Like communication is so important in League of Legends that like if they're not gonna smash their lanes, then like you're just making it harder for your team. And I mean, Energy won last split, and I don't think you guys had any. I guess Ignore, but he's like he's NA.
I mean, when I think of like Korean imports, in my head, I think of like someone like Pays or like Sayus when he first debuted, like really hyped rookie prospects that would like that's the type of player that like everyone wants, and that's like the player worth importing, in my opinion, or like that type of caliber. But obviously, like everyone's gonna want to have them on their team, so it's like. But in my head, like that's what I think of like when you should get an import.
Yeah, but eXyu, he can keep coping with his random Korean imports. Like maybe
You're
it'll work out.
stirring up. When do you play?
this is actually war.
I mean, it's some point in the
wait to
next
play
2 days.
Oh,
I
man.
can't.
I have no idea.
Next 2
I
weeks.
actually don't know.
It's
I don't
either
know.
next week or the week after. I'm finding out at some point throughout this. I do
Any
want
other
to.
spicy topics, Jensen? You want to?
I know this is great.
Let me cook. No, nothing for now.
Yeah, Dhokla, have you played on mixed language teams before? I know you've been on a ton of different.
I've been on mixed language teams, but like I think the hardest one was with Crown, in like 2019.
Who was also a former world champion.
Yeah.
In 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so his English wasn't good, but I had Arrow on that team, and his English was very good. So but there was some difficulties for sure, because like in review he wasn't really talking too much, but I think that could have just been like an individual thing. But yeah, luckily I haven't been on too many teams where there's like been a huge language barrier. So
February
I can't really
4th
speak to that.
is when you guys play each other. It's actually the last game of the round robin for both of you.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Okay, I mean, we'll see.
Ending
Then.
on a dub. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
You were going to say something. I don't want to cut you.
Yeah, I mean, there will of course be like rare cases where it does work out because obviously C9 with Berserker, like you can't be like that one wasn't worth it. But just in general, like it happens a bit too much, I think.
But also, it depends on the role. I feel like ADC is the best role to import because like you don't have to do anything. You just
that's
click
true.
buttons and that's it. Like all the other roles have to talk, but they just
Yeah,
they can just press their buttons and it's good enough.
I agree.
Jensen for GM.
What's the worst role to have?
Jungle support.
Probably jungle. I mean, Umti's actually like his English is like
His English is
really,
really
really
good,
good. But yeah. I mean,
You were memeing a bit about Cloud9 before we started. Are you spooked by Cloud9, the super team?
Me, I was not memeing.
no,
He
it
asked-
was,
No.
no, he asked.
It's because they were saying that Cloud9's such a scary team, and I was asking Jensen if he's scared. Like,
I mean,
And I just
Jensen, you've
said-
been on. Were you on a super team? It was what 2020, right? TL.
Well, it depends. Probably 2019 was the better one, but
Yeah.
we've had some.
The
good
more
rosters.
hyped. Oh wait, no. The most hyped TL super team that failed was when they grabbed Bjergsen, and that went terrible.
Oh yeah,
You wanna
but
talk
I
about
wasn't a part of that one. Don't drag me into that.
Almost the 80 carry. But that's
Yeah,
a
I
different
was.
story.
If I was the 80 carry, we would have won. That's all I'm saying.
But I asked this question to Doublelift. What percentage chance, and I want total honesty here, what percentage chance does Cloud9 just win the whole split? Dhokla.
I mean, I think they're definitely good, but like I think we'll level up as well throughout the split. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say 100, but it's like I think they're definitely going to be a strong team.
Throw one out there. Make the odds.
It's 50-50.
Either they win or they lose.
Either they win or they don't win.
Okay, I mean, Douglas saying they need to level up, like a bunch of excuses. Like, I think we're already leveled up and we're already better than C9, so I'll give them maybe like 5 to 10% chance.
Nice. And eXyu as the.
I mean, having scrimmed both the teams, I think they're definitely more favorites than FLY West. So I'll give them like 60% chance to win the split.
So much cap.
I mean, there is that level of. I actually think the real strategy for you guys is to say they have like a 90% chance of winning, and then they'll just get complacent, and then it never works.
Yeah.
Like, because if everyone tells you you're going to win the split, you're like, no matter what, it's human nature to relax a little bit and just kind of like feel.
Yeah,
like
you got to lock in. It's kind of what I personally experienced after like the G2 loss. Like a lot of like relaxation or G2 win, a lot of like just pressure off, and then it's hard to like immediately lock in. Like if you were to play like the next day or something, it's hard to like have that same mentality going into like a next series if you exceed all your expectations.
How have you done with expectations, the split? Because you were the best North American team of all the North American teams.
Yeah.
You beat G2 2-0. There was, the victory. There was the parade in downtown Los Angeles. Not quite, but like online, there was this huge celebration. And now the expectations are so much higher coming into the split. Yet, no one put you first in power rankings. You lost the first game of the split. Like, how has that up and down been for you?
Just looking forward to fluking our way to another title. Yeah, so that's like the personal. I mean, I don't really have too many expectations in terms of like what happened last year. It's just what really happens by the end of the split is what matters. So I think that's just where my head's at.
Awesome. Jensen, how's it been playing with Inspired? I guess kind of just like the fit on the team, because Inspired Whippo, we've seen is maybe 45 seconds of comms from within the game, and it was just Inspired and Whippo just kind of both talking about what they should do, and then the other three are just kind of like, oh, yep.
I mean, they're definitely both big talkers. I think working with Inspired has like surprised me in a lot of ways. He's very direct about what he wants, not just from like what he wants to do himself, but also like creating like habits and patterns for like teammates and stuff. And he's kind of been like a leader in a way. And I mean, yeah, he's kind of he's definitely surprised my expectations as a player.
I've always gotten this impression that he's really direct. Like even in interviews, he will say things that I think a lot of other people wouldn't say with the level of flame. Because like to me, he clearly likes Masu as an AD carry because he's he's aggressive. But even when I asked him about Masu in the stage interview yesterday, he's like, yeah, he kind of reminds me of Han Sama. Obviously, he's worse than Han Sama because he's new and doesn't know how to play the game yet. But like, he's really aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about him is he's very direct. He doesn't like beat around the bush or is like passive aggressive. He's just aggressive, if anything. So he gets his point across easily, and as long as you're not like too soft, like it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I feel like this has been interesting. We've talked about the backstage draft, the playing on live patch, and Jensen decided to stir things up a little bit, which was great.
A little bit, yeah.
But you guys want to talk about anything else?
Ooh,
What's been grinding your gears, Dhokla?
grinding my gears.
Why are you looking at
Jeez.
me like that?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I mean,
Trying to start beef.
nothing off the top of my head. You're kind of putting me on the spire, but
eXyu?
Nah, I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling?
Enjoying my time here. Sad that we lost NRG because, you know,
Yeah, that
Maybe
game
they're
was
not-
kind of low elo, no?
they're not that
that's pretty
good,
low,
but-
I'm not gonna lie.
now I can't say they're not that good because they beat us, so we got to wait till next time.
Okay.
Yeah, just happy to be here. I think I'm like getting more comfortable with the stage. Definitely today
Right.
was like, I think when I played yesterday I was kind of shaky, and then today I was just like, it's NRG, I'm chilling. But
Yeah.
It's just energy.
I wasn't shaking anymore, so I think it's just
Yeah.
like the more days I play on stage, the more comfortable I'll get, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future.
That's awesome. Congratulations, everyone. I know everyone picked up a win, at least. Jensen picked up 2, but it's progress. 6 teams make playoffs. We got only 14 games, so it is a very fast regular season. Thank you very much for joining us on the debut episode of Pros. That's it for us.